This is the first chapter of democratic politics. What democracy? Why democracy? Let's discuss some of the major aspects which we are going to learn in this chapter. This chapter builds on a simple definition of democracy. Step by step, we work out the meaning of the term involved in this definition. The aim here is to understand clearly the bare minimum features of a democratic form of government. After going through this chapter, we should be able to distinguish a democratic form of government from a non-democratic government. Towards the end of this chapter, we step beyond this minimum objective and introduce a broader idea of democracy. Democracy is the most prevalent form of government in the world today, and it is expanding to more countries. But why it is so? What makes it better than other form of government? That is the second big question. Let's get back to the simple definition of democracy, which says democracy is a form of government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We will be discussing about the features of democracy in detail one by one. We have started with a simple definition that democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. This raises many questions. Who are the rulers? What kind of elections? Who are the people involved? And finally, what kind of form of government is democracy? Let's discuss each of these questions with the help of some examples. In Pakistan, General Pervez Musharraf led a military coup in October 1999. He overthrew a democratically elected government and declared himself the chief executive of the country. Later, he changed his designation to president and in 2002 held a referendum in the country that granted him a 5-year extension. Pakistani media, human rights organization, and democracy activists said that the referendum was based on malpractice and fraud. In August 2002, he issued a legal framework order that amended the Constitution of Pakistan. According to this order, the president can dismiss the national and provincial assemblies. So, Pakistan has had elections. Elected representatives have some powers, but the final power rests with military officers and the General Musharraf himself. Clearly, there are many reasons why Pakistan under General Musharraf should not be called a democracy. People may have elected their representatives to the national and provincial assemblies, but those elected representatives were not really the rulers. They cannot take the final decisions. The power to take final decision rests with army officials and with General Musharraf, and none of them were elected by the people. This gives us the first feature. In the democracy, the final decision making must rest with those elected by the people. Now let's derive the second feature of democracy from China and Mexico. In China, elections are regularly held after every 5 years for electing the country's parliament called National People's Congress. The National People's Congress has the power to appoint the president of the country. It has nearly 3,000 members elected from all over the China. Some members are elected by the army. Before contesting elections, a candidate needs to take the approval of the Chinese Communist Party. Only those who are members of the Chinese Communist Party or 8 small parties allied to it were allowed to contest elections held in 2002-2003. The government is allowed to form the Communist Party. Similarly, since its independence in 1930, Mexico holds elections after every 6 years to elect its president. The country has never been under a military or dictator's rule. But until 2000, every election was won by the party called PRI, Institutional Revolutionary Party. Opposition parties did contest elections but never managed to win. The PRI was known to use many dirty tricks to win elections. All those who were employed in government offices had to attend its party meetings. Teachers of government schools used to force parents to vote for PRI. Media largely ignored the activities of opposition political party except to criticize them. Sometime, the polling booths were shifted from one place to another in the last minute, which made it difficult for people to cast their votes. The PRI spent a large sum of money in the campaign for its candidates. We can thus add a second feature to our understanding of democracy. Holding elections of any kind is not sufficient. The election must offer a real choice between political alternatives. So we can say that a democracy must be based on a free and fair election where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. The principle of universal adult franchise has come up to be accepted amongst all over the world. Yet, there are many intents of denial of equal right of vote. Until 2015, in Saudi Arabia, women did not have the right to vote. Estonia has made its citizens rules in such a way that people belonging to Russian minority find it difficult to get the right to vote. In Fiji, the electoral system is such that the vote for an indigenous Fiji has more value than that of Indian Fijian. Democracy is based on a fundamental principle of political equality that give us the third feature of democracy. That is, in a democracy, each adult citizen must have one vote and each vote must have one value. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe attained independence from white minority rule in 1980. Since then, the country has been ruled by ZANU-PF, the party that led the freedom struggle. Its leader, Robert Mugabe, ruled the country since independence. Elections were held regularly and always won by ZANU-PF. President Mugabe was popular but also used unfair practices in elections. Over the years, his government changed the constitution several times to increase the power of the president and make him less accountable. Opposition party workers were harassed and their meeting disrupted. Public protest and demonstrations against the government were declared illegal. All the means of communication was restricted by the government. There were independent newspapers, but the government has harassed those journalists who went against it. The government ignored some court judgments that went against it and pressurized judges. He was forced out of the office in 2017. So this makes us understand that a democratic government cannot do whatever it likes simply because it has won an election. It has to respect some basic rules. In particular, it has to respect some guarantees to the minorities. Every major decision has to be through a series of consultations. So, the fourth feature of democracy, a democratic government rules within limits set by the constitutional law and citizens' rights. So, let's conclude with summarizing all the points. Point number 1, democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. Second, in a democracy, final decision making must rest with those elected by the people. Third, a democracy must be based on a free and fair election where those currently in power has a chance to lose. Next point, in a democracy, people's will is uncertain by each adult citizen having one vote and each vote has one value. Democracy is based on a fundamental principle of political equality. A democratic government rules within limits set by the constitutional and citizens' rights. Rest we will be discussing in the next video. Thank you.